by historical standards. And while there may be no Herodotus to give color to this story, there is one of the most, I guess for military history fans, one of the most colorful sections of the Old Testament of the Bible that deals with the fall of Assyria. And I'm sure Assyrian descendants and people who are big Assyrian fans think this is very unfair sort of propaganda. Again, it's just their bad luck to get bad PR sometimes in the Bible. And the biblical prophet Nahum was prophesizing supposedly that you're going to get it. And then once they did get it, he was sort of saying, see, this is what you get. Now, what's kind of interesting about Nahum, unlike some of these other prophets, there's a decent chance he was a contemporary. A lot of this stuff was put together in the Hellenistic period later, from earlier stories or all kinds of things dealing with that era. But some of this goes back, and it's tough to know, and historians argue, but it's possible that this prophet Nahum guy was maybe even a predecessor to some of these events. So who knows? I won't get into something like that. I just found it interesting because when he recounts what happens, first of all, he gives you the color and tells you a little bit about the story in a religious sort of framework. It still doesn't sound like Herodotus. There's a religious tone to it, but at the same time, it's very colorful. So he describes, for example, what the battle is like after prophesizing that you're going to get it for a long time. And he says, quote, "He that shatters in pieces has come up against thee. Guard the wall, guard the way, gird thy loins, make thy strength the utmost. The shield of his heroes is red, his warriors are clad in scarlet. They prepare the chariots today, the chariot horses are eager. The chariots rage in the field, they rush to and fro in the plazas. Their appearance is like that of torches, they dart about like lightnings. He reads out the list of his nobles. In their eagerness they stumble. They hasten to reach the walls. The battering ram is made ready." End quote. Then Nahum describes the unleashing of the rivers. I guess the dams were broken or rerouted, or they reroute the course of the rivers or what have you to help undermine the walls. That's not that unusual a tactic, but with a big city like this, not a small engineering feat. And the prophet Nahum says, quote, "The river sluices are opened. The palace walls are crumbling. The queen is stripped of her clothing. They are leading her away captive. Her handmaidens moan like doves. Upon their breasts they are beating. Nineveh was a tank of water. From it they are now escaping. Stand, stand, they cry. Not one of them looks backward." And then he basically tells everybody to take back the stuff that Assyria took from them and that they're housing in this immensely wealthy city. He says, quote, "Take ye the spoil of silver, take ye the spoil of gold. There is no end to the store, an abundance of all goodly objects. She is empty and void and waste. Hearts melt, knees shake. There is pain in all loins, and pale have waxed all the faces." End quote. Then he does a little trash talk gloating, where he says, where are the, great lions now and all the people who took all this stuff? And then, like again, so many of the people during this era, this was seen to involve, a little proof that their God was superior, or in the case of some of these people by this point in history, the only God. And Nahum says, quote, "Behold, I am against thee, says Yahweh of hosts. Thy lair I will burn with smoke. Their young the sword shall devour. I will cut off thy prey from the earth. No more be heard thy messengers' voices." And he continues to rub it in and basically blame this on karma, if you will. "Woe to the bloody city, full of lies and robbery, the crack of the whip and the thunder of the rumbling wheel, the prancing horse and the bounding chariot, the horseman mounting and the flash of sword, the gleam of spear and a mass of slain, a heap of corpses. There are no end to the dead bodies. For the many infidelities of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of incantations, who sold states for her wicked deeds, and clans through her incantations. Behold, saith Yahweh of hosts, I am against thee. I will strip thee of thy clothing, and show thy shame to the nations. Filth I will cast upon thee, and disgrace thee. I will set thee up as a warning. All who see thee shall flee, shall cry, Desolate Nineveh, who shall bewail her?" End quote. Well, listen, they may not have a ton of dramatic stuff from the Near East during this time period, But that's awesome. I mean, all history aside, that's awesome stuff. And it does give you a feel for the emotion of the time period. We may think, that it's all been drained, but that's somebody who is clearly thinking that Assyria is reaping what she sowed.